Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Leader Lab. This is Leadership Shorts, quick thoughts to help you level up your leadership. My name is Chad Wright. I'm the founder of Forward Partners, and I am joined, as always, by my partner in podcasting and shenanigans, Emily Graysteele. Emily, what are we talking about today?
We talk a lot about purpose and how it changes everything.
Yep.
I know we can be guilty of only thinking of purpose in big sweeping terms like impact and legacy.
Yep.
How does purpose make a difference in the small moments throughout the day?
You know, it's really interesting. We do always think about it in those big terms, right? Because purpose really defines, why do we exist?
Mm-hmm.
What is the good we are meant to do? What is the impact we are meant to have? And that, I think, immediately lends itself to the grand scale, right? It immediately lends itself to legacy and purpose and impact and these,
what am I doing
really
with my
big
whole
ideas.
life? Yeah.
What is my life about? It's this big thing. And I think what happens when we say purpose changes everything is I think the way it changes everything on the big scale is because it does on the small scale.
Mm-hmm.
It can literally change every moment because purpose kind of defines for us a way of being. So my purpose is to bring hope and clarity to every human I meet. So my way of being means I need to operate with hope and clarity.
Yeah.
And where that really makes a difference is on the ground. It really makes a difference moment to moment in small conversations. Talking to the waitress at lunch today that we just had, talking to the person checking out your groceries, make sure you're intentionally connecting with humans and just having a good human connection with them. That's how they're going to get that hope and eventually that clarity.
Right.
And so purpose really defines for us, how are we going to be, so that we can then define moment to moment, it changes things. If my interaction with a person is just to get my groceries checked out, that's the only purpose for that interaction.
Mm-hmm.
Groceries are going to get checked out.
Right.
I'm going to pack them up. We're going to leave. But if the purpose is to bring that person hope, now we're going to get the groceries checked out. We're going to pack them up and leave. But also in there, we're going to have a good conversation.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to connect with them and see how's their life going,
Right.
And a lot of people don't pause to do that.
Well, it's just the pause of how you're choosing to interact, right? It's the pause of even when you're having a bad day, knowing that, taking the moment to be like, thank you. Like, how are you doing?
To see
that
people
moment.
and acknowledge them, right? It makes such a difference. And it's a very outward focus. I think when we help people write purpose, it's not about them as individuals.
Mm-hmm.
It is not about my purpose is for me to be amazing. My purpose is to help other people feel amazing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's this service-based outward focus. And we talk about people being healthy leaders and being oriented towards health. When you're spiritually healthy, the way we define it is, are you seeing purpose and impact in your daily life and leadership?
Mm-hmm.
It's about that big picture of, I am here for others.
Right.
My story is also interacting with other people's stories.
Right. It is the zoom out, but you see that by looking also at the smaller pieces.
Yes.
It's not just a big
They're
scale.
tied together.
It's all every day. Well, I mean, because I think of impact not only on like what is the, world impact that I personally am having. That's harder. Like if that's the question you're looking to answer to see your impact, you're probably not going to get that every day.
Ultimately, you're right. When you think about legacy, it is, I want the legacy of my life when I'm done to be millions of leaders whose lives were impacted for the better.
Right.
Their lives are better because I chose to show up with purpose every single day that I could. And that I never discounted a connection. I never, if I ran into somebody, there is a reason I ran into them. And it's for me to serve my purpose and hopefully inspire them to live out their purpose.
Right. Well, shout out Liz. You mentioned her. That was our waitress. You're amazing. Keep making Lego. And she had a good moment with us today. And we had a good moment with her. And literally it was important to me that she was like, we're joking around about being super nerdy and let's pause our Lego discussion while she's here. But it's important because then she was like, wait, I love Lego too. Yes. And then we got to have a fun moment with her.
It was
and
a
that's
neat connection,
so important.
Right? Yes.
Right. Like that means that we left leaving that a little bit better 100%. And not just thank you for our food. Like there was a bigger piece to that.
There was human connection. And in so many cases, that's what we need desperately. And that's what people are hungry for. And our world increasingly isolates us. And so when we have that outward focus, and part of having that outward focus is purpose. If I don't have a purpose deeper than just giving her money for food, I'm probably not outward focused enough to even pause and talk to her, to even care what she's talking about,
Right.
to have her talk about her two sons and all the Legos they used to build
Yeah.
and all those kind of things. And I think it is in interactions just like that you go, hey, is that person's life changed 180 degrees? No.
No.
Is it slightly better than when we walked in? That becomes exciting, that their life is better just because we showed up with an outward focus.
Yeah.
And with that sense of purpose and that sense of our role here is to make people's lives better. And I think for all of us, that is part of our purpose. Now, how we go about it is different for every person, but it is about other people and service. And so that idea of living on purpose is ultimately, I mean, it's kind of about creating this life. You know, we talked about not just being about the end point, but being about the journey. I think purpose can be the same thing. If purpose is, well, at the end of the journey, I want this. Well, how are we going to get there? A whole lot of action day to day, moment to moment.
If you look back, you had to have been doing it all along instead of just getting to the end point and assuming that because you wanted to, your purpose was fulfilled. Yeah, you have to look back and know that you made those choices.
Absolutely. You have to be focused on it. You have to be intentional about it. I know that word comes up all the time with us. I think that's because ultimately you can't be a good leader without intentionality. Yeah. You can't build the life you want. You can't be the person you want to be.
Yeah, you're not just going to
fall
into it.
I've tried. Listen, my brother will tell you stories about the number of times I fell over as a kid. I was trying to fall into being a good person. Never worked out. I had to choose it. Had to choose to be intentional. Shout out to my brother who will never listen to this podcast. I love you, Cody. So I think there's something to this. Leaders, let's talk next steps. What is your purpose? What is the thing that drives you? Because ultimately what you're going to find is it is not just this big grand endeavor, this big grand adventure and legacy. It is that, but it is also the people you lead. If you show up with purpose and on purpose every single day, their lives are going to be better. Their lives are going to improve with every interaction. We talk about in every interaction, there's that great quote by Brennan Manning that says, in every interaction, you either give life or you take life. There is no neutral exchange. You're either giving it or taking it. When you show up with purpose in your heart and purpose driving you, you are going to give life. Your people are going to feel better about their lives and where they're headed and what's possible. So living on purpose is about those small moments. It's about being cognizant of others and how are we designed to show up and serve and make things better. Spending time on this, thinking about purpose, and really reminding yourself every single day, this is my purpose, makes a massive difference. It will change how you interact with everybody moment to moment. It'll also change how you invest in yourself, because we had an episode where we talked about how do we rest. Part of it is we need a deeper purpose to drive us. We need a deeper reason to do it. It will help with that as well. Emily, if people want to send us what their purposes are, how they're designed to impact people, where do they send that to?
lab@forwardpartners.net.
lab@forwardpartners.net. If they want to find us online where we're putting out leadership content all the time, where do they find that?
@forwardpartner.
@forwardpartner. We're on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. Perfect. Thank you so much for co-hosting.
Thank you.
John, Porchlight Productions, thank you for producing. Other Emily, thanks for bringing the vibes. Viewers, listeners, watchers, we love you. Thank you so much. You are part of our purpose. You help us live out our purpose. So please share this with other people. Let's make that impact even bigger. We will see you next time right here in the Leader Lab for Leadership Shorts.